Thank you for choosing the Xpanse Outdoor Living Storage Building. The Xpanse Outdoor Living Sheds provide industry-leading strength, durability, and beauty. With this easy-to-follow installation, you'll have your new shed assembled in no time. Before beginning construction, take a complete inventory of all parts listed in your owner's manual and familiarize yourself with the parts using the identification guide. Also, be sure to have the necessary tools and materials close at hand. Your Xpanse Outdoor Living Shed can be constructed on a concrete slab or wood platform. Building on a proper base is important to the strength and longevity of your shed. Now, you're ready to begin. Lay out your base track on the foundation. Apply a continuous bead of silicone caulk underneath the base track and install the base track sections to the foundation using the appropriate screws. It is important that your track has been squared off and that your door opening is 65 7/16 inches. Apply caulk around the inside perimeter of the base track and wherever track pieces meet. For models with floor panels, lay out the floor panels and secure with provided screws. To start the wall panels, insert a corner post and a back and side panel at the rear of the platform. Continue adding back and side wall panels and the other rear corner post. Snap panels together and push down into the base track. Ensure all parts are fully seated. If you need extra support while installing the wall panels, use an AS3 screw to attach the corner post to the base track. Add the remaining panels until back and side walls are complete. Complete the front walls by adding the corner posts and front wall panels. Insert the door jamb aluminum supports into the door jamb cavity, then attach the door jambs to the front wall panels. Add the wall caps to the side walls. The front and rear edges of the wall cap should be flush with the front and rear edges of the side wall panels. Your shed has two gables. To assemble each, position the left and right gable sections together. Secure the gable along the center using the appropriate screws. Add the window glass and window frame to the front of each gable. Fasten the gable glass and window frame to the gable using AS3 screws around the frame and AS4 screws at the center. Secure the door lintel to the gable, but do not fully tighten until the gable has been placed on the walls. Install the assembled gables onto the front and rear walls and into the cavities of the corner posts. Push down firmly to seat. Tighten the screws in the lintels. For an 8x6 shed, the ridge beam comes as one piece, but for larger sheds, it needs to be assembled. To assemble the ridge beam, place the ridge beam and ridge beam extension together. Center a ridge beam splice over the joint, mark the screw hole locations, and pre-drill starter holes for the bolts. Place a ridge beam splice on each side of the ridge beam and fasten together using the provided bolt sets. Install the assembled ridge beam into the cavity at the top of the front and rear gables. You can temporarily secure the ridge beam in place using zip ties. Be sure to run both zip ties on the same side of the ridge beam. Now, onto the roof. Assemble a left roof panel and a center roof panel using provided screws. Next, assemble a right roof panel and a center roof panel. Then, assemble another set of left and right roof panels. Add assembled roof panels to the shed, starting on the side without the zip ties. Ensure that each panel added engages the ridge beam and the previous panel. Remove the zip ties and install the other side of the roof. Be sure to center the roof panels so that they overlap equally on the front and back gables. To start the door assembly, identify the correct face of the door. The back of the door has a groove in the edge of the door. Position the doors so that the grooves are next to each other. Slide the door aluminum inserts into the cavities at the outer edge of the door panels, ensuring that it is evenly spaced in the door. Fasten in place on the hinge edge using a provided screw. Install the door trim pieces over the top and bottom of the door panels, followed by the door caps. Position the astragal against the door edge of the left door if right-handed and the right door if left-handed. The astragal should touch the door caps at the top and bottom of the door. Screw each astragal into place using provided screws. Position screws 3/8 of an inch from the inner edge and 1 inch from the top and bottom of the astragal. Position a third screw halfway between the top and bottom screws. Use AS2 screws to fasten the door caps, except for the door cap at the top of the door with the astragal. Lay out the decorative trim on the front of the door and lightly trace the edges onto the door with a pencil. Remove the trim and draw a center line between the edge lines. Drill 5 holes through the front face of the door. Insert a door rail plug into each of the holes, making sure that each plug is fully sealed. Install the decorative trim by sliding it over the plugs, engaging the slot of the decorative trim on the head of each plug. Repeat on the other door. To attach the hinges, flip the doors front face down. Set the hinge at the edge of the door radius 8 1/2 inches to 9 inches from the door cap edge. Mark the screw hole locations and pre-drill starter holes for the hinge screws. Finally, attach the hinges using appropriate screws. Repeat for the other door. Place a lock bracket into the gap on the door with the astragal and drill through to the outer edge of the door. Place the bottom end of the door handle over the hole and lightly fasten in place using a door handle bolt. Visually line up the top of the door handle so that it is parallel to the edge of the door trim and drill through to the hole to the inner edge of the door. Fasten the upper part of the door handle in place using a door handle bolt set. To attach the doors, center the door on the door jamb 3/8 of an inch from the edge of the jamb stop. Mark the hinge screw locations and pre-drill holes for the hinge screws. Attach the hinges using the provided screws. Repeat for the other door. It is important that the doors are properly aligned. For tips, consult your owner's manual and continue to check the doors several times through the next 2 steps to maintain proper alignment. From the inside of the shed, insert provided screws as required where wall panels meet other wall panels, door jambs, corners, and the base. Screws should be placed approximately 18 inches apart and should be inset 1/8 of an inch from the edge of the panel. Next, secure the wall caps to the roof panels. Finally, fasten the front and rear gables to the walls. Fasten the roof panels to the ridge beam using TS4 screws where the roof panels overlap each other and TS3 screws in the slots where there is only a single panel to attach. Next, secure the roof panels to each other. Finally, lock the roof panels to the front and rear gables at each end using appropriate screws. Secure a roof cross support at the middle of the roof. Use one of the provided screws at each end of the support. Secure the second roof cross support to the other side of the roof. Add shed tie straps to the roof cross support at the middle of the roof. From the inside of the building, close the doors and place a lock bracket on the door so that it lines up with the lock bracket on the opposite door. Drill through to the outer edge of the door using a 1/4 inch drill bit. Open the doors and place the bottom end of the door handle over the hole and lightly fasten in place using a door handle bolt set. Visually line up the top of the door handle so that it is parallel to the edge of the door trim and drill through to the hole to the inner edge of the door. Fasten the upper part of the door handle in place using a door handle bolt set. For 8x6 sheds, slide the ridge beam cap across the top of the roof. For 8x8 and 8x10 sheds, the full ridge beam cap needs to be assembled. Start by placing the 2 ridge beam caps together. Add PVC cement to the underside of the ridge beam joint cover and center in place over the joint where the ridge beam caps meet. Slide the completed ridge beam cap on across the top of the roof. Attach the ridge beam end caps using PVC cement. From the inside of the building, close the doors and position the slide lock at the top of the door with the astragal. Start with the washers, followed by the slide lock, and fasten in place using AS2 screws. Congratulations! You've successfully constructed your new Xpanse outdoor living storage building. Whether you use it for lawn and garden equipment, pool supplies, or motorcycles, your new shed is sure to be the centerpiece of your backyard. Looking to add even more beauty and function to your backyard? We offer a large selection of innovative, easy-to-install sheds, fences, rails, and lawn and garden accents. With a variety of size, color, and styling options, we'll help you make your great outdoors greater. Learn more by visiting us at XpanseGreaterOutdoors.com.